Well, the 1 o'clock Eastern Time kickoffs are quickly approaching, and guys, you've just got a matter of hours to enter this week's free fantasy football contest run in conjunction with DraftStreet.com. Just click on the ads here at the site, and it doesn't matter if you played last week or 7 weeks ago. You can play again today. It is free to enter a $1,000 free bankroll, which means top 100 finish in the money. First place is worth $100. Again, it is free to enter. You've got to finalize your rosters by 1 o'clock Eastern Time. And keep in mind, every single player has a value associated with them. You get a $100,000 salary cap to play NFL general manager. You draft a couple of quarterbacks, a couple of running backs, a wide receivers, a tight end, etc. Put your team together, free to enter, $1,000 contest, top 100 in the money. First place worth $100. Remember, this contest is decided after the Monday night game. You don't have to wait till the end of December when the season closes. So check it out now. Click on the ads, DraftStreet.com. Guys, first handicapper I've got to talk about today, as I have probably done repeatedly over the past 5 months, it is Shawn Michaels. Did it again last night. One and only 100 dime college football bailout game of the year winner, Arizona, 3.5-point favorite at home against Utah. A Utah team that was coming off an upset at home of Stanford, a Utah team that really hadn't been on the road much at all in the past year outside of the state of Utah, and an Arizona team that had started the Pac-12 season getting shellacked in their first 2 games. And what happens? Arizona delivers with the win and cover, rallying at home with a second half surge to stop the Utes. Well, guys, today he's going for winning day number 49 out of 73. He is 5-1 since last Sunday, hitting 4 out of 5 100 dime releases along the way. But today, first ever 150 dime NFL release of his career. And it's your Sunday night showdown between Denver and Indianapolis. Now, keep in mind, he is 36-15 with NFL 100 dime releases over the past 4+ seasons. You just got his 100 dime winner yesterday in college football on Arizona. You just got his 100 dime AFC game of the year Monday night with the Chargers outright over the Colts. The past 2 Sundays, you got his 100 dime Sunday night bailout game of the year last weekend with Dallas over Washington, and 2 weeks ago, his 100 dime Sunday night game of the year was San Francisco humiliating Houston. This play is bigger than all of them. Hell, he's gone 30-14 with his 50 dime releases over the past 5 months. And this play is 3 times bigger than those. His overall record, the past 5 months, 48, 24, and 1. And with those 73, 74 plays, he has turned a profit of $1,399 dimes, which means a $10 bettor has won almost $14,000. Today, once again, first ever 150 dime NFL release ever of his career. And I think Shawn has been a member of this site not quite since its inception, but I'd want to say about 8 years or so. So it's a huge, huge play. Craig Davis, as you know, former president of FantasyFootball.com. This is a guy who lives, breathes, eats, sleeps football, and his success in the NFL is well documented since late in the 2011 season. $10 bettors have won over $9,300. He's reeled off 5 straight Super Bowl winners here for you at the site today. His biggest NFL release of the season. 100 dime winner number 19 out of 28 overall. Double-digit route of the year. And to put this in perspective for you, when he won his 5th straight Super Bowl selection on the Ravens back in February, that was a 75 dime play. This play is bigger than that one. Trace Adams, normally a 1,000-star play, is his top-rated release. He does what he likes to call raise the bar plays, 1,500-star plays. Well, he won raise the bar winner, number 1,500-star release, number 25 out of 40 yesterday. Tennessee outright over South Carolina. And today, he takes it up a notch even more, upping the ante. The biggest NFL play he's ever had here at the site, and he is an original member, and I started these sites a little over 10 years ago when I built them. One and only 3,000-star NFL game of the year, twice as strong as his winner on Tennessee, his SEC game of the year outright as a 7.5-point dog over South Carolina yesterday. Cincinnati, Detroit. It kicks off at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's what Trace Adams has going for you today. Not one, but 2 $5 play of the day releases here for you today. The first one will be Jeff Benton, who has made $10 bettors a little over $3,800 over the past 3 months, going for winning day number 23 out of 39, 40-dime winner number 11 out of 15. His NFC total of the month on the Cowboys and Eagles. Normal price is $75. You save $70. You get it for $5 using coupon code JEFF5, Jeff, and the number 5. Just hit 40-dime NFL winners on the Seahawks on Thursday night. The Chargers on Monday night. This play is just as strong as them. And also, I saw that Scott Delaney has a big Sunday night total selection as well. So I figured, hell, give you that option as well, because it is a little game that, I think a lot of people have some interest in here this evening. That, of course, being Peyton Manning's return to Indianapolis with the Colts Broncos. Well, that's his 50-dime Sunday night total of the year, Denver Indy, and you can get that for $5 by using coupon code SCOTT5. Scott5. Quick congratulations going out to Anthony Red. Hit 2 out of 3 50-dime releases yesterday with Wake Forest and Arizona State coming in. $10 bettors up $2,700 since last Sunday as he's won 6 out of 7 days. And Brad Wilden cashing in yesterday with his 100-dime release. How easy was that one? Blowout of the year? Yeah, Oregon State by 32 over California. So he's won 22 of the last 36 days and $10 bettors up a little over $10,700 over the past 3.5 months. Now, that's the good. Got to tell you the bad, right? The bad, well, let's start with me. Jesus, I can't find a win if you hand-delivered it to me and told me the game was fixed. Yesterday, gave you free pick winners, right? Had 4 free pick selections yesterday. Gave you free winners on East Carolina, laying 23. I gave you Buffalo, laying 20. I gave you Houston, a 9.5-point dog that almost won outright. And then I used for my best bet the Texas A&M Aggies, a 13.5-point choice that lose outright at home to Auburn. That was a great choice. But not as bad as Brian Rosica's 100-dime winner number, what was it yesterday? He was going for 100-dime winner number 11 out of 15 yesterday. He had Clemson. And I thought my Texas A&M play was bad. Okay, so that's the bad news. Hey, FYI, also, if you want to save $27 off a single purchase today of anything here at the site, use coupon code SAVE27, SAVE27. Okay, let's get to your free selections, guys. Let me give you my opinion on the Denver-Indianapolis total. It's sitting right around 57.5 points. Now, we know what Peyton Manning has done all season. We know Peyton Manning, what he did in his career at Indianapolis, yada, yada, yada. We know what Andrew Luck has done here for the Colts this season. But we also know that Andrew Luck was stopped cold by the San Diego Chargers Monday night on the road. Was it a possible letdown game after coming back and rallying his team to a fourth-quarter win against Seattle and an upset the previous Sunday and getting caught looking ahead to this particular contest? Will the Denver defense, which is nothing special, suddenly get a surge with the return of Von Miller, who only had 18.5 sacks last year and I think 31 in his 2-year career after missing the first 6 games of the year? Will those nearly 20 extra pounds that he's put on over the past year and a half make a difference here tonight in terms of affecting his ability to get to quarterbacks? I'm looking at this here, and I think that the Colts will realize that for them to be in the position to win this game, they've got to establish the run against a Denver team that has proven unable to stop the run. So I think that you're going to see Trent Richardson get a hell of a lot of carries here today. Consequently, I think the longer they keep Peyton Manning on the sideline, the better chance they have to win the game. That also runs time off the clock. So I'm looking at this 57.5 points, and although some people think this is going to be a shootout, 38-30, something along those lines, I lean toward taking the under in this particular contest. So I would go with the under in this game. Now, I have to be honest with you, I like the other 2 free picks. I'm going to give you a little more than that one. The first one's going to be Philadelphia -3 at home against Dallas. Chip Kelly certainly had Monty Kiffin's number when Kiffin was serving as defensive coordinator at USC under his since-deposed son, Lance. Oregon Ducks just did anything they wanted against the Trojans, running it wild. Kiffin, as I mentioned before here in the video reports, this is a guy who really was the guy who implemented the cover 2 scheme with Tampa Bay that was so successful. But that was over a decade ago. That's when he had Warren Sapp terrorizing quarterbacks and Derek Brooks roaming sideline to sideline at linebacker. With the advent of all the spread attacks, with the quarterbacks running the end option so much, the type of attack that Kelly has brought to Philadelphia, that whole cover 2 scheme really doesn't seem to be as effective anymore. And when you don't have a good defense to begin with, like the Cowboys don't, and they may be missing DeMarcus Ware again once more today. I think that's problematic. So I think the Eagles, with their high number of plays that they're going to run, are going to be able to wear out a Dallas team that couldn't stop Denver at home, couldn't stop San Diego from rallying against them on the road, couldn't stop Kansas City in the fourth quarter drive when Jamal Charles just ran crazy over them to give the Chiefs a win at home in the second game of the season, couldn't stop Eli Manning in the season opener at home. And you know how poorly the Giants have played this season, but Manning nearly rallied his team against this bad Dallas defense. Now, the Eagles' defense is nothing special. I mean, they converted from a 4-3 to a 3-4 here, but Bill Davis, their defense coordinator, doesn't have the talent to do so. I mean, you've got converted defensive linemen, Trent Cole, Brandon Graham, etc., suddenly playing outside linebacker. It doesn't work. Their secondary is just as bad as it was last year. And let's face it, Troy Aikman, you may talk about that costly interception he's thrown in the Denver game, etc., but the guy has had one hell of a season already, and he should continue to exploit the Philadelphia secondary today. But I think the difference in this game comes down to the running games. LeSean McCoy has already run for over 600 yards this year, averaging well over 5 yards per carry. Nick Foles has certainly been proven to be an adequate replacement here, and maybe will eventually take over the number one job long term from the injured Michael Vick. Played well at Tampa last week, but let's face it, it's the Bucs. But the Bucs have played well defensively this season. He got the job done on the road. I realize that he's 2-5 as an NFL starter, and both wins came against the Bucs, okay, in Tampa. But I like them here today because the difference, again, will be the running game. So LeSean McCoy is healthy. DeMarco Murray is not. He is doubtful for the game, even if he plays. I mean, this guy, the Cowboys abandoned the run game so early with Bill Callahan as their offensive coordinator this year. I mean, even when Murray's healthy, he'll have a good game and then he disappears and gets 12 carries the nenext week. They don't have any adequate backups. So I think it's going to be, did I say Troy Aikman earlier? Did I say Troy Aikman? Jesus, I meant Tony Romo if I did, guys. But anyway, I think Romo is going to have to launch the ball 50 times today. And when you throw the ball that many times, not necessarily good things are going to often happen. So I think it'll be a high-scoring game, but I'm more than willing to take a shot on Philadelphia in this particular contest. And your other free pick, I like the Carolina Panthers, who are a tease. I mean, they are a tease as teases go in the NFL. You never know what you get from week to week. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, they go on the road. They look miserable against Arizona, even though on the final box score, they outstatted Arizona from start to finish, but Cam Newton was just dreadful. Well, then last week, Cam Newton throws for 272 yards, scores 3 touchdowns, and they blow out Minnesota on the road. So, what can I tell you? Well, I can tell you this. They're back at home today. They're taking a St. Louis team on that has won 2 straight games. Big deal. They beat Houston last week on the road. They didn't beat Houston. Houston gave them the game. They capitalized on 4 Houston turnovers. I mean, again, in the final box score, St. Louis was outgained 420 to 216 in total yards in that win. The Panthers' defense is much better than Houston's this season, okay? Panthers have played well at home. I mean, they gave Seattle all they could handle in the season opener before losing 12-7. They beat up the Giants 38-0. This is only their 3rd home game of the entire season. The Rams, 2 wins the past 2 weeks. An injury-riddled Houston team, an injury-riddled and bad Jacksonville team. I mean, this is a team that lost 35-11 at home to San Francisco, lost 31-7 at Dallas in week number 2. They've allowed 31 or more points in 3 of 6 games. They've given up 20 or more in 5 of 6. And I only have to lay a touchdown with Carolina? I like Carolina in this game. I'll tell you what, I like Carolina in a teaser too. I'm just looking here at the board. Like I always say, guys, you got to love live videos. I was just thinking of Carolina here. Is there any team that I would possibly tease them with? And when you're teasing, you're always looking for particular numbers. Is Kansas City going to lose today at home against Houston? Because in a 2-team 6-point teaser, you could go ahead and take Carolina down to 1.5, and take Kansas City down to pick 'em against Houston, starting Case Keenum today. I'm just looking at the other games here on the board. Is there any other? Wouldn't touch Atlanta, Tampa Bay if you paid me, guys. That would probably be the game. If I had to do a teaser today, I would do Carolina and Kansas City. And hell, make that a free pick. Carolina and Kansas City, I would make them a teaser at home in this particular schedule as well. So that'll do it, guys. Best of luck to you all, and I will catch you again. Remember to play fantasy football for free, and I'll talk to you again on Monday.